Conference Committee report on House File number 399, an act relating to public employment. The report is addressed to the Honorable Kurt L. Doudt, Speaker of the House, and the Honorable Michelle L. Fischbach, President of the Senate. We, the undersigned conferees for House File 399, report that we have agreed upon the items in dispute and recommended as follows. The conference report is signed by all 5 conferees on behalf of the House and 4 of the 5 conferees on the part of the Senate. Anderson S. moves that the report of the Conference Committee on Senate File number 399 be adopted and that the bill be repassed as amended by the Conference Committee.
Recognize Representative Anderson, who will explain the report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, if you recall from last session, the State Government Finance Committee is the place where all of the funding for the legislature is part of. So all of the chief clerk's office that you see here, all of the nonpartisan research staff that you have, all of the staff that we have that work for our independent caucuses, this is to fund them. This is money to fund our operations as a legislative body. And that was all part of the state government finance bill last session. However, as you remember, the governor, after signing the tax bill, decided he didn't like certain provisions of the tax bill that he signed, and as a response, he decided to eliminate the funding for the entire legislature. In essence, saying that the legislature does not exist. Now, as we remember during the last couple of months, this has been going on through the courts and has been what I consider to be an embarrassment to Minnesota, to see that we have a governor that thinks he can just eliminate this body, which is one of the 3 legs of the stool, if you will, between the judicial, legislative, and executive branch. So to fix this, I am grateful to the governor for his words of saying that he will sign the legislation, putting back the funding for the legislature, making it available for us to operate, for us to be here on a day like today, as long as the bill is clean, and that is exactly what we're doing today. So what you will find in this conference committee report is essentially the same funding that we had in the state government finance bill that many of you voted for by keeping the legislative body whole. It also pays back the money for the courts, and it also pays back the money to the Legislative Coordinating Commission that is responsible for a lot of the commissions that are near and dear to your hearts, whether that's the Pension Commission, whether that's the Data Commission, and a whole host of other commissions that we have and that we operate with a lot of times input from the public as well. So with that, members, I stand for questions. I look forward to hearing your questions. Thank you.
Is there any discussion on the Conference Committee report? The member from Hennepin, Representative Hortman.
Mr. Speaker, I can wait until after this part.
Any further discussion? Representative Hortman, go ahead.
Actually, Mr. Speaker, it's probably appropriate right now. Representative Anderson, if you would yield to a question.
She will yield. Representative Hortman.
You mentioned something about lawyers' fees, and what I was wondering is, did the amount appropriated to the legislature increase in the conference committee meeting last night at 8 o'clock?
The member from Hennepin, Representative Anderson S.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and Representative Hortman. I did not mention that, but I will tell you that this bill is funding the legislature. It is not an increase to the legislature from what you saw in the state government finance bill from 2017.
Representative Hortman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any further discussion on the adoption of the Conference Committee report? There being no further discussion, all those in favor of the motion to adopt the Conference Committee report on House File 399 signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. No. The motion prevails, and the clerk will give a bill its 3rd reading as amended by conference.
3rd reading, House File number 399, as amended by conference.
3rd reading as amended by conference. Further discussion. Representative Liebling.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would Representative Anderson yield to a question?
She will yield. Representative Liebling.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Anderson, this is a very unusual kind of conference report. I think we need to acknowledge that. If you read it, the title of this report, A Bill for an Act, is something completely different than what's in the body of the bill. And I think the procedure by which this is before us is pretty unusual. And I'm really concerned that this body is going along this way. And I view it as anti-democratic, small d, and really troubling because the bill, as I'm understanding it, and the question to you is to explain the procedure by which we're at this point and why this is okay to do it, if that's what you think. But normally, a bill comes to the floor and it gets debated and potentially amended by the members of this body before it gets sometimes sent to a conference committee to be put together with whatever the Senate has passed. But in this case, a completely different bill went to conference committee and something came out that really had nothing to do with, or very little to do with the bill that was originally sent. Obviously, this is done just to have a vehicle to bring this here today. But what the public needs to understand is that what this does is it means that members of this body, individual members, have absolutely no ability to impact what's in this bill. And so my question to you is, why are we using this procedure? Is this something that you, when you're in the minority, is this something that you'll think is okay for the majority to use?
Representative Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Representative Liebling, I'm glad that you asked that question. Actually, this isn't new to the legislative body. When the Democrats controlled the legislature in 2014, they did something similar. I'll help you out. It's Senate File 2470. The bill is an act relating to education, and in the title it says that it's authorizing an innovative partnership to deliver certain technology and educational services, proposing coding for new law in Minnesota Statutes 123A. Then the bill came back from conference committee, and it contained the medical cannabis bill. I think that is a lot different than a bill for an act relating to education. In this bill, the difference between the two is that when you look at the title of the bill says relating to public employment. And this language that we had as part of the conference committee report is about public employment. It's about the public employment of all the staff people that we have in the legislature, whether that's the nonpartisan research, whether that's the LCC folks, whether that's the staff in your caucus or our caucus, all of the chief clerks folks, they're all part of public employment. And so if you look at House Rule 6.40, and if you're looking on the second paragraph, this is a higher precedence than any of the other rules that we have in our body. It says that a conference committee report must include only subject matter contained in the House or the Senate versions of the bill for which that conference committee was appointed, or like subject matter contained in a bill passed by the House or the Senate. And that's what we have here today. On top of that, to address your concerns relating to public input, we've had public input going back all the way from January 1st, or whatever the first day of session was, in January of 2017. State government finance our entire committee worked very hard for several months, 5 months to be exact, putting together the state government finance bill, having committee hearings, talking about the legislative budget, talking about the governor's budget, talking about all the state agency budgets that we have. And in that, we had public testimony provided, we had agency people come forward, we as members discussed this bill at length. On top of that, we went to conference committee, and we had several conference committees, public input, again, on the legislative budget and everything else that was contained in that state government finance bill. On top of that, we went to special session, and we had, again, more input from that. And as you know, the last few months, for basically a year, we have been debating this issue, having input from the public, and giving them the opportunity to have it on the record, as well as emailing us and contacting us about this issue. So to address your concerns, I hope that covers it all. I have more information, happy to share that with you too. but I think that covers all of your concerns.
Representative Liebling.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Representative Anderson. I see you came very well prepared for that question, and and I'm not surprised that you did. But you know, people need to understand that the title of this bill now, this bill that's refunding the legislature, is relating to public employment, clarifying limits on severance pay to highly compensated public employees. There's nothing in here about that. So, Representative Anderson, what I understood you to say is, well, you did it, so it's okay if we do it. You know what? We're going down a really dark hole here, and I hope that we can stop doing that. You did it, so we do it, because this is about the public. This is about future legislators. This is about whether there's going to be really an opportunity for an individual legislator to amend a bill. Not about whether we as a party or as a caucus have a right to do this or that. Every one of us is elected from a district. Every one of us has an election certificate. Every one of us, our constituents think that we have input here. They think we do. And you know what? Some of the time, we don't. People need to understand that. And those of us who just go ahead and say, yeah, do it because we want to achieve a certain result. And I'm not arguing here with your result. I'm not arguing that your committee didn't have all those hearings. But that's not on this very bill that's before us. And this process, which I see the majority going down this path more and more with all these conference reports now, I'm really concerned about what we're doing to this body. If we want to keep a democracy, we need to honor the institution. The institution's set up to let individual members have a shot at getting something before our peers for consideration, and this procedure doesn't allow for that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The member from Ramsey, Representative Pinto.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to a point of order.
State your point of order.
Mr. Speaker, Joint Rule 2.06 says that a conference committee report, such as the thing that we have here, must be limited to provisions that are germane to the bill and amendments that were referred to the conference committee. A provision is not germane if it relates to a substantially different subject, etc. Mr. Speaker, the subject that went out from this body clarified limits on severance pay to highly compensated public employees. Now, unless the majority is saying that they are highly compensated public employees, it seems to me that the allocation of $32.38 million to the House and a similar dollar figure to the Senate is not germane. It does not relate to a substantially different subject as what went out from this body. Now, I could imagine looking at custom and usage. It does fall below the joint rules in our House procedures. But of course, the majority leader made the point that looking to a prior legislature is not a guide to what happens in this body with our legislature. She just said that a little bit ago. Now, I disagreed with that. I would continue to. But, Mr. Speaker, you ruled in favor of the words the majority leader said. So looking at prior practice, I was not around anyway, is not something you can do, nor would it make any sense, right? We've got a joint rule that is very clear, and allocating all this money to the House and the Senate is something that is may well be necessary, but is something that is not germane at all, not substantially related to these clarifying limits on severance pay to public employees. Mr. Speaker, I would urge you to find the point of order well taken.
I find the point of order not well taken. Further discussion on the conference committee, on repassage of the conference committee report. The member from Hennepin, Representative Freiberg.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to a point of order as well. My point of order is under Article 4, Section 17 of the state constitution, and I'm prepared to offer advice.
Representative Freiberg rises to a point of order. State your advice, Representative Freiberg.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Article 4, Section 17 of the Minnesota Constitution says that no law shall embrace more than one subject, which shall be expressed in its title. So the title of the bill has to say what's in there. Representative Liebling made some very capable points. This bill says that the conference committee report says that it is clarifying limits on severance pay to highly compensated public employees. There's nothing in the bill related to that topic, so it violates the Minnesota Constitution. The title is not reflective of what's in the bill, and I urge the Speaker to find the point of order well taken.
I find the point of order not well taken. Further discussion. The member from Rice, Representative Bly.
Thank you, Speaker. Point of parliamentary inquiry.
State your point of parliamentary inquiry.
I'm troubled by some comments that the introducer of the bill or the bill made, referring to the executive and referring to motives, which I understand we are advised not to do. Is there a remedy? Would the Speaker caution members not to behave in such a way or to impugn the motives of others?
I think you just did a very nice job yourself. Thank you. Further discussion. The member from Hennepin, Representative Hortman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, last year we had a huge budget surplus. But instead of taking care of all Minnesotans, Republicans chose to prioritize the wealthy and corporations. This resulted in the legislature's budget being vetoed by Governor Dayton out of concern for the fiscal stability of the future of the state, and has resulted in hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees. Today, Republicans should join DFLers to approve a modest raise and pension security for our state's dedicated public employees. We are fortunate in Minnesota to have thousands of dedicated professionals who serve our state. They deserve to have their agreed-upon contracts approved by the legislature. The MAPE contract, for example, they spent 4 months negotiating. I find it distasteful that we're here today approving a legislative budget before we're taking care of the state employees who serve our state every day, all year round. It just isn't a very Minnesotan thing to put ourselves first in line. Republicans in the legislature should ensure that state employees are financially secure before taking care of our own financial security. Members, I urge a no vote on the conference committee report.
The member from Hennepin, Representative Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I'm going to urge that you have a green vote on this bill. And although our staff members are not part of the state contracts that the minority leader just mentioned just now, they are still state employees. They are state employees of the House and they're state employees of the Senate that work very hard for us. And a lot of times they're having to work very late at night for days on end as we get down to the very crunch time. And it doesn't matter who's in control. There is always that last crunch where these folks, after we leave this room, are here for hours after, making sure that it's recorded and is part of our state history. I would hate to think that we would make this a political moment for these folks that work so hard for us every single day, and that I feel very blessed to have met and know and worked with on a day-to-day basis. Members, I am grateful to those of you that voted for this same funding on May 25th. I'm not going to name you all, but I've got Representative Halverson voted for this. Representative Portman, you voted for this. Representative Cagle, Representative Marquardt, Representative McQuaid, Representative Pryor. All of you voted for this when you voted for the state government finance bill. You voted for this and you had no problems voting for it then. I can't imagine why you wouldn't vote for this funding of the state legislature. This isn't a pay raise. This isn't about us. It's not about us as members. It's about all the staff people that work for us and make this body function, whether we're here or the next class is here or whoever replaces us down the road. So with that, I ask for your green vote.
The member from Hennepin, Representative Pepin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members, and thank you, Representative Anderson, for coming forward with this today. Just a couple of things I'd like to reiterate. I think, Representative Hillstrom, you pointed out an erroneous comment in an earlier discussion. This is the exact level of funding. In fact, Representative Hillstrom, if you voted for this today, you'll be consistent with your vote last year. So I don't know what you view your vote was, but if you look at the appropriation for the last biennium, just to clarify, it is the exact same dollar amount. And also, members, and I apologize for speaking after Representative Anderson, but, I sit on the LCC, and I had the opportunity to listen from our legislative auditor and from others who are affected by this. It's not just us. It's all across the system. Our ability to bring forward bills, our revisor's office, numerous employees across state government and that help us do our work here are impacted by this. I've got a whole list, and I was ready to talk about it, but it looks like we're about ready for a vote. I would just encourage members today to vote for this, and just know that we feel good that the governor has asked us to bring forward a clean bill, and that today we can do what the public is expecting us to do. We passed the bill today. We're able to continue to do our work and work together to get the job done for the people of Minnesota. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, the clerk will take the roll. The clerk will close the roll. There being 77 ayes and 50 nays, the bill is repassed as amended by conference and its title agreed to.